On August 21st, we were made aware that there would be a GGG Live on August 27th. And here is the post. And as you can see, on August 27th, we'll preview some new information about Path of Exile 2 and 055. And at first glance, I didn't think anything of it. And then when I reread it over and over and over and over, and I highlighted what sticks out here about Path of Exile 2 and 055. Now, that's not written by accident. That's GGG doing their hidden message marketing voodoo stuff, or whatever you want to call it. You know, the things they like to do sometimes when it comes to marketing. So it got me thinking, what does this mean? And what could they possibly reveal on the GGG Live outside of 055? And then my mind got even deeper into the weeds, and I started thinking, wait a minute, there's Gamescom, there's GGG Live, like we just talked about, there's ExileCon, there's the whole ramp up to 1.0 at the end of the year. There's a lot of stuff coming up from a potential marketing opportunity and promotional opportunity for GGG to market their game. How are they going to navigate this? There's a lot of things that are not concrete. There's a lot of things missing in the game. Now, we know 055 is 055, and we kind of have a good idea of what that's going to be, but there's new classes missing. There's a trials missing. What league mechanics are they going to use, not use? All this Acts 5 and 6, when is that going to happen? When is 1.0 date going to be announced? All these things that, from a marketing perspective, GGG can capitalize on promoting their game. So there's this massive puzzle on where to put these pieces on all these different marketing opportunities and events that they have. So in this video, we're going to go through that puzzle, and I'm going to present to you my argument on where I see things fitting, and then you can get in the comment sections and rip me a new one. Hi, everyone. Welcome back. It's Sammy. Let's try to figure this puzzle out. Why don't we? So I made a little PoE2 prediction board with, as you can see here, these are all the decisions Grinding Gear Games are going to make on the game, when they're going to announce them, whether they're going to be in the game before 1.0. In my opinion, these are things that are outstanding, let's just say, okay? And then we have these marketing opportunities of things we know that are happening. We know they are going to be at Gamescom in 2 days. Yep, 2 days, August 25th. We know GGG Live is August 27th. ExileCon is November 7th and 8th. And 1.0, we're all speculating is going to be at the end of the year. Most of us are speculating December of 2026. And then I have this column here, which is stuff that I'm going to put there that it's not going to happen before 1.0, if anything. So this is basically the puzzle I was referring to earlier. But before we get into where I think things are going to be placed and where, and these decisions of mine are going to be solely based on marketing punch, marketing where are they going to get the most promotion dollars out of their announcement, right? What's going to give them the most bang for their buck? So before we can do that, let me give you a little bit of an education on specifically the difference between Gamescom, which I'm sure most of you already know is unbelievably bigger than ExileCon, with all due respect to GGG. But for those of you that are not aware, you're going to be aware now. So, for example, Gamescom, it reaches over 335,000 attendees, 350,000 plus attendees across 128 countries go to Gamescom, okay? Their digital platforms, people that watch, it's over 630 million program views across all the digital platforms. And opening night alone in Gamescom is viewed by 72 million plus live views, just day one alone. So a lot of these studios that participate see massive, massive jumps in their titles. So for example, the top 20% of the titles average a massive 3,700% jump in audience attention, okay, and mind share. So people that are thinking about the game, okay? So that is Gamescom. Massive. Okay, let's kind of give you an overview of what ExileCon is like. And the last one was in 2023. The numbers are 448,000 peak viewers and 162,000. They averaged 162,000 viewers across their platforms, the digital platforms. And according to Grinding Gear Games, if I don't have the number wrong, you guys correct me, apparently approximately 1,400 people attended ExileCon, okay, compared to the 357,000 Gamescom. But we're not comparing the two, but I am trying to illustrate the impact of both, okay? Now, great. Now that we got that out of the way, what all these decisions that Grinding Gear Games has to make from a marketing punch, okay? Gamescom, definitely a massive opportunity, tremendous audience, and we know if they wanted to get more bang for their buck, so outside of their core audience, that is the place to make it. And I would argue that's why they're there. And I couldn't think of a more opportune time. It's in August, and it's literally months away from their game going free to play. So it's a hell of an opportunity. So what do they choose to share at Gamescom and take it away from potentially sharing it with their core audience in ExileCon, right? This is where the dilemma I had, at least. So now, when it comes to 055, GGG Live, balance and unique, everything we know, and I did a video on this, so I'm not going to go. This obviously is going to go there. No question about it. It's not going to go anywhere else, right? But this is the big one. There are currently 8 classes of the 12 in the game. Before, we were told all 12 are going to be in play in the game before 1.0. That has changed. Grinding Gear Games said they're not going to get all the classes in before 1.0. Or sorry, they could see 1.0 going live without all the classes. Let me rephrase that. Okay, so again, we'll see what happens, but we know Swords is coming. We do. It's been said over and over. That is tied to the Duelist. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, this is massive. Everybody knows what a sword is with these games. And to be honest with you, it could go here, or they could be saving it for here. There really is no wrong answer, okay? But I have to say, this is too big of an audience to not wow. And why not do it there? So I'm predicting new class, Swords, Duelist is going to be at Gamescom. Now, whether or not the people that are attending Gamescom are going to get to actually play that class, I don't know. I don't know if they've had enough time, because we know making a new class is very difficult. So we'll see whether or not they're actually going to get their hands on that. What I think, I'm split on this. If there's no demo of the new class and the swords, then I think Act 6 goes into Gamescom as the demo and illustration, and here's the new act. Okay? And if that's the case, then this goes over to ExileCon. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think this is what is going to be announced, and it's going to have a small demo of what they have so far with the Duelist and the swords in the game. It's going to be a very, very quick and dirty demo of playing with swords in the game. That's, to me, what I think is going to be most bang for your buck. Now, unfortunately, there's 4 classes missing, right? So if they announce the duelist, there's no way that Grinding Gear Games has enough time, in my humble opinion, to add the remaining 4. The Templar and the Marauder are not going to get introduced before 1.0. That's going to happen later. Again, they can use that marketing currency in later patches in 2027. I also don't think that daggers and the Shadow class are going to happen before 1.0. Again, because there's so much to do, and we're literally in the crunch time right now. As far as the Trials of Ancestors, the third trials that's missing, we only have 2. They still need to fix this so badly, which requires them to drop something, see what the reaction is, and then fix it and apply it. Now, they may do it by introducing Toda and seeing how it goes. We'll see. Or they may do it without introducing Toda and fine-tuning the Trials of Chaos and the Trials of SamyCaps. I don't think that... In my last video, I was hoping that they were going to do something in 055 about this. And you know what? I'm going to stick with that. I think they're going to do Toda in 055. Some sort of Pharisha style madness, just to kind of get a reaction to it, to see if it sticks and it's worth it. Like, are we liking the new changes to it? Because it's a 1-month event. They can throw it up against the wall, see if it sticks, and maybe it helps them make their decision on where they're going with Trials, because currently Chaos and SamyCaps, for the most part, everybody hates them. I personally think Acts 5 and Acts 6 are going to be happening in ExileCon, and the 1.0 release date announcement, again, it's going to go here or there. And man, there really is no wrong or right. I really don't. But they got to leave something for ExileCon. If they announce it here, this isn't enough. So I think they're going to announce 1.0, like the official date is going to be known in ExileCon. Now at Gamescom, what I would do is confirm that the game is going to go free to play in December, and we're going to make the actual announcement date at ExileCon at our own event come November 7th and 8th. So I get this huge audience at Gamescom. It's not an official date, but mark your calendars. It's happening in December kind of tone marketing, right? And so they tease that the date is coming. It's for sure going to be December. And they tease the duelist and the swords are also coming. And they have a demo of the sword play for people that are attending Gamescom. That would be off the charts, right? So ExileCon will have the actual date and Acts 5 and Acts 6 revealed. Okay? And then 1.0 league mechanic, what is it going to be? Now, they could do it all the way here this early, but I don't think they have all their ducks in a row, with all due respect. I personally think we are not going to learn about whether it's, going to be a Harvest League, a Delve League, a Blight League, or maybe something completely different. I doubt it. Typically, they're following what we already know from PoE1. And the new league mechanic is going to be part of the 1.0 point launch ramp up. They're going to have a live reveal and a Q&A before the actual date. That's where they're going to, obviously, in that live reveal, we're going to learn about the 1.0 league mechanics. So that one goes there. Now, GGG surprises, I really think this really goes across these four. Grinding Gear, so I'm not going to place it, but it's going to be all four. Grinding Gear games always, you know what they say, right? Always under promise and over deliver. And Grinding Gear Games is really known for that. So I think Grinding Gear Games is going to sprinkle some surprises along the way in Gamescom, GGG Live, ExileCon, and 1.0. There are a lot of things that they could surprise us with. The other thing I want to mention, for those of you that are thinking, where are the ascendancies? Where are the balance changes? Where are the uniques? Where's the crafting? There's no quality of life in here. All those things, guys, I like to put it into the realm of the fact that that is a constant moving target for an ARPG. There will never be a perfect patch for balance, crafting, all that kind of stuff. That is always something that Grinding Gear Games is going to be aspiring to hitting that mark perfectly on all those things. So I didn't place them here because they're always trying to achieve it. They're never going to be perfect with it. There's always going to be a balance with it. So this is why I didn't highlight it. Those things that I just mentioned are always going to be part of all these announcements because it's an ARPG. They're a gaming studio, and that's their job, to fine tune, dot the I's, cross the T's. So that's always moving, and they're always doing it. So it's always there, if you know what I mean. Okay, so that is my prediction. Gamescom, we're going to get the new class, and it's going to be demo. People that attend are going to be able to demo the swords and the gameplay. Very limited, but it's going to be there. GGG Live is going to be 055, the stuff that we know, and we're going to get an update on Path of Exile 2 vis-a-vis the trials and Toda. ExileCon is going to have the confirmation of 1.0 date. We get told at Gamescom that it's coming in December. On November 7th and 8th at ExileCon, GGG actually gives us the date in December. We also get Acts 5 and Acts 6. We get shown it, and we get to see it, and everyone is going to be like, whew. And 1.0, the leading up to 1.0, that is when we're going to learn the league mechanic, what the league mechanic is going to be for 1.0. Unfortunately, the other three classes are not going to come in to play. Now, I hope I am super wrong on this. I thought about this long and hard. Part of me thinks they're going to bring in another class. I really do. Part of me was hemming and hawing about the shadow with the daggers because we've already seen them in the game, just can't use them. So I was really hemming and hawing about that, but I parked it. I'm giving GGG some runway here to breathe because this is a lot. Anyway, so that is my prediction. Let me know what you guys think. And if I've missed anything, let me know what your predictions are. How far off am I? Am I out to lunch? What would you switch around? Please let me know, because I got to say, this is I'm so interested from a business perspective and selfishly from a gaming perspective, because I play this game a lot, how they're going to navigate this puzzle. It is so interesting. And I can't wait to, look back at it retrospectively and say, oh my God, that's how they did it. And why? And we will be talking about that, by the way. So, it's going to be interesting times, but this is just the beginning, guys. This game it's just the beginning of this game, and it's super exciting. Anyway, that's it for me today. If you're new here, hit subscribe, hit that like button too if you got something out of this, and please don't forget to follow me on Twitch so you know when I go live. We're on a massive hardcore run. As always, links are in the description. Thanks for watching, everybody. I really do appreciate it. And I hope to see you on the next one. Take care. The opinions expressed in this video are mine and solely mine. Healthy debate is always encouraged. Hate is never welcomed. So get over it.